King Charles III says the scourge of war has returned to Europe as he became the first British monarch to address the German Parliament. On the second day of his first overseas trip since becoming king, the monarch praised what he called the vital leadership shown by Germany and the UK in helping Ukraine. His speech in both English and German was met with a standing ovation. Our chief correspondent John Cookson has the story.
A historic moment in the German Parliament, and for King Charles, a chance to restore Anglo-German relations in the wake of Brexit. Here we witness soft power in action unique to the British monarchy.
Since I first came to Germany, when I was just 13 years old, I have grown to become familiar with the different corners of this remarkable land. Like many British people, I have close personal ties here. In my case, cherished family relationships and associations that go back generations. For all of us, however, there are countless points of connection and common experience in the British-German story, which has unfolded over nearly 2 millennia.
The King has been involved in furthering UK-German reconciliation for decades, as was his mother, the late Queen Elizabeth II. This time the King came in his new role as head of state, along with the Queen Consort Camilla, who dazzled.
Es ist schön von Ihnen, dass...
Fluent in German, the King had the great and the good laughing over dinner last night.
...kommen sind und mich nicht mit einem dinner for one.
Around 1 million Ukrainians fleeing conflict have found refuge in Germany, and the King and the German President met many families at an arrival centre at Berlin's former Tegel airport. Tomorrow, the royal couple set off for Hamburg for a commemoration of the thousands of victims of Allied air raids over the city 80 years ago. But this visit by the British monarch and his consort surely reaffirming that the Second World War is now firmly in the past, and the relationship between Britain and Germany has never been closer. John Cookson, Arise News.
And John Cookson joins me now from London. Good to see you, John, and thanks for that lovely story. King Charles, of course, on his first state visit, becoming the first British head of state to address the German Parliament. Just reflect for us on this trip.
Well, look, hi, Charles. It's good to see you. It's been a triumph so far. It's been a massive hit in Germany. Yes, of course, on the Twitter sphere and other social media, there's been some anti-royalist stuff, and there's been some chanting in Germany by some demonstrators. But overall, the feeling is very warm towards the royal couple. I've been looking at the German press in the last hour or so, and Bild, the popular tabloid, is glowing about Charles and Camilla. And of the dinner last night, which you saw a little bit of in my report, Bild says, trash nobility, that's referring to the German leadership, meets high nobility. And the more upmarket Die Welt newspaper is focusing on Charles's love for and concern about the environment. It's going well so far, and there'll be poignant moments tomorrow. I mentioned in my report Charles and Camilla go to Hamburg to a memorial there to war dead. But overall, it's been a triumph, and of course Charles has been practicing this role for decades now. His late mother made 15 royal visits to Germany, and I'm sure this will be the first of many by Charles and Camilla.
And of course, John, back in Britain where you are, preparations underway for the formal coronation of King Charles. I mean, that'll be something to behold, won't it?
Absolutely. Hoping to be there myself. Who knows? But yes, that happens in May. And In fact, Charles made a point of mentioning in one speech in the last 24 hours that Handel's music will be played at the coronation, which he's very fond of. Handel, of course, was German-born, became British later in life. So there's another link, and I'm sure invitations will be going out to all the German leadership to attend, including, of course, the President Steinmeier, who has been Charles's host so far in Berlin.
Just returning briefly to Germany there, John, the King, of course, reflecting on the war in Ukraine. Tell us more about what he said briefly.
Yes, well, of course, Germany playing host to a million people who've fled from Ukraine, a major effort, a sterling effort by Germany to help those poor people. And Charles, as I said in my report there, made a visit to one reception centre where he made reference to Germany's lead in all of this, and he talked about the scourge of conflict in Europe once again. But, you know, the king has to be careful what he says overall. The British monarchy prides itself in not disclosing political beliefs, although it's broadly thought that the British monarchy, including the late Queen, was sort of left of centre, certainly liberal. And this is another reason why Charles feels at home, because he's cut from the same cloth, and the Social Democrats are in charge in Germany at the moment, and Charles will fit in well into that kind of environment. They're all singing off the same song sheet there.
John, thanks very much indeed. John Cookson, Arise chief correspondent, talking to me there from London.